Hey everybody, this is George, the creator and founder of the Trump Rocks project. And in the last video, we were covering creating liquidity token pairs on PulseX and liquidity farming in a liquidity pool. I guess I'm using the word liquidity a lot there. I've gotten questions about what's the difference between liquidity farming and actually staking. So sometimes you have the option to stake coins. Staking is a process also in the liquidity farming, because in the liquidity farming, first we create a pair and then we stake that pair into the liquidity pool and then we receive interest for doing that. But there's another concept in crypto where we actually have staking, single-sided staking. So in the last video, we went over the creating the liquidity pair and staking it, and I was using PulseX as an example. I'm going to continue down this route and kind of give an overview of the Pulse ecosystem and explain these concepts along the way. So we talked about farming on PulseX. Another place that people can farm on, a little less popular, is 9inch.io, and that's considered a meme coin farm. But you have interesting pairs here. You have this PulseX and I think this Pulse Doge, 9inch and BBC. Yeah, those are actual coins. 9inch and DAI, 9inch and USD, 9inch and Pulse. So those are all options here. We have 9inch Pulse. This one is actually interesting. This is one I'm in myself, is Hex, P-Hex and E-Hex. So you can pair those together and they can earn some interest for you. But here we also actually have, if you go over to their pools, they actually have single-sided staking. So you could stake 9inch by itself and you're paid out in the BBC token. Same thing here. You can stake BBC, and I think the pool auto rehypothecates, so your investments earn more BBC because it pays you out in BBC and then it automatically reinvests it. It's kind of cool. Or you could stake this poor pleb token and earn BBC. Or here you can stake PulseX and earn BBC, and you make 7%, which is good. I mean, otherwise you don't get anything off your PulseX, and you're not losing anything here. There's no risk of impermanent loss that you would incur with liquidity farming in a liquidity pool. And sometimes, it's a really high interest rate, 186%. Down here, 95% if you stake this Pulse Doge. So those are options. I mean, as long as we're on the Pulse chain ecosystem, the granddaddy of them all is gohex.com. Essentially, what you can do here is, this is Hex, and I'm connected to Pulse chain, so this is P-Hex, the Pulse chain Hex. We could decide an amount that we want to stake. So say I wanted to stake 1,000 Hex for 365 days, I would earn 200 Hex over a year. So not bad at all. But the more that I add to the stake, right? So let's just say I added 200,000, then I'd earn 40,000 Hex. Okay, that's actually really nice. Or if I increase this length, if I went from 365 days to let's go up to 1,000 days, well, then I would just earn increasingly more and more Hex as a return. So that's one of the options in staking. Another option they have is on the FUX. That's PUHX. This website offers liquidity farming, but it offers it in a variety of forms. So I can pair 2 coins together, or I can pair 5 coins together. This is all of the Richard Hart ecosystem coins, all of the native coins to the Pulse chain ecosystem. You can put them all together. Or here they have like this stable pool, which earns you 12 to 23%. Or here you have this conglomeration of coins that earns you 19 to 47%. So again, this would be like a more advanced strategy, but if you had a lot of these things sitting around, they weren't doing anything for you, maybe you want to stake them, maybe you don't, maybe you want to farm them in a liquidity pool. It's up to you. There's a lot of options there. But I wanted you to be aware that these options do exist, and they are useful for some people. There is one more option I think we can talk about, because if I want to talk about, this relationship to NFTs and our beautiful Trump rocks, you can go over to Mintra.ai, and I think you enter into their website. Now, not only is this like a beautiful NFT marketplace for, let's say you wanted to mint a Trump rock, you could do that here. We got this beautiful Trump rocks over here that you can mint nicely over on Mintra.ai. You could do that, but if we're talking about staking, you can actually stake the Mintra token and be paid in Pulse Chain. So this is a cool thing to do. I'm actually doing this myself. I think it's kind of cool. Got some Mintra token. I'm like, hey, let's just let's put it away and let it earn some Pulse, and come back to it in some time later, and then I have my Mintra and then I have my Pulse. So that's totally a possibility that you can do. I don't know what the rate is here. It probably depends on how much Mintra you have, but these are many options. You can farm on PulseX. You can farm on 9inch. You can farm on the PHUX, or stake on Hex, or stake on 9inch. I mean, there's a lot of options right here. Oh, and Mintra. So a lot of options there. I just wanted to bring them up to you. And thanks for listening, and have a great evening, afternoon, or morning. Take care.